Today is the 22nd of March, 2022. This is CTV News Montreal about Quebec and the COVID-19 situation in the province. Quebec is reporting 5 more COVID-19 deaths and a slight bump of the number of hospitalizations on Monday. The total number of deaths since March 2020 has risen to 14,265. Hospitalization inch over 1,000 again in Quebec after 59 people were admitted and 46 were discharged in the last 24 hours. The number of patients occupied ICU beds rose to 48 on Monday, an increase of 3 from the day before. While Ontario's lifted a face mask mandate on Monday in most public places, they are still required in Quebec until at least mid-April. According to Quebec Public Health Institute INSPQ, the number of active cases of COVID-19 in the province has dropped to 12,964, a decrease of 318 from the last update. The province also recorded 907 new COVID-19 infections. However, that number is likely an undercount since PCR testing is still not available to the general public in Quebec. The health minister also declared 433 positive rapid antigen test results in the last 24 hours. Healthcare workers analyzed 10,238 samples on March 19. There were 369 active outbreaks in Quebec on Monday, and the positivity rate was 10.3%. So this is the situation right now in the province related to the COVID-19. So basically, jumping a little bit, the cases. So that is kind of like going up again. Let's see what this CTV News offers this morning. There's a live event. The Liberal confidence deal with NDP includes commitments to no advance dental care, farmer care programs. The federal Liberal and New Democrat had finalized an agreement that, if maintained, will keep Prime Minister Justin Trudeau government in power until June 2025 in exchange for progress on long-standing NDP priorities. Trudeau announced Tuesday morning that the confidence and supply agreement has been brokered and is effective immediately. This is good news. I like it. I like this. What is this? 175? Over there. Let me see. The federal Liberal and New Democrat have finalized an agreement that, if maintained, will keep Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government in power until the end of the current parliament in exchange for progress on long-standing NDP priorities. Trudeau announced on Tuesday morning that the confidence and supply agreement has been brokered as effective immediately and will remain in effect until June 2025. We are different political parties. We stand for different things, but where we have common goals, we cannot let our difference stand in the way of delivering what Canadians deserve. That is why we are taking this step. Say Trudeau, that what this means is that during the uncertain time, the government can function with predictability and stability and get things done for Canadians. The Prime Minister said that it was not an easy decision. The agreement will send the NDP caucus prop up the government in future confidence votes and back then for budget in exchange for progress before the next election on several key policy issues that are shared Liberal NDP priorities. Called Delivering for Canadians Now, a supply and confidence agreement, the two parties has agreed that over the next 3 years the government will launch a new dental care program for low-income Canadians, starting with under 12 years old in 2022, expanding the under 18 years old, seniors and persons living with disabilities in 2023, and then full implementation by 2025 with no copay for anyone earning less than $70,000 annually. Continued progress toward a universal national pharmacare program, passing a Canada Pharmacare Act by the end of 2023, and then tasking the National Drug Agency to develop a national formulary of essential medicines and bulk purchasing plan by the end of 2025. Advance a series of measures aimed at affordability and housing costs, including a Homebuyer Bill of Rights and the Early Learning and Child Care Act. Proceed with policies and programs meant to target climate change as well. Insurance support for workers are implemented, including supporting labor unions and starting the 10 days pay sick leave policy immediately. Invest more in Indigenous reconciliation, including supporting residential school survivors. Improve fairness in the tax system by addressing profit made by big banks during the pandemic, and eliminate barriers to democratic participation by exploring ways to expand how people can vote, such as improving mail-in voting and potentially allowing a 3-day voting period. All these are things that we have in our platform. All these are things that we committed to Canadians that we will work hard and on constructively on, and that is what this agreement is about. It's about fulfilling the clear mandate Canadians gave Parliament by improving the way we do politics. Trudeau said the deal worked out by party leaders was presented to Liberal and NDP MPs for approval on Monday night. The news was well received on the Liberal caucus, according to sources, and according to a senior NDP source, while that party's caucus was not an unanimous support, the majority was. I like it. I vote for a Liberal, so I like this deal. Confirming the deal on Tuesday, NDP leader Jagmeet cites, saying on social media that his party will always use our power to make life better for Canadians. Science is speaking to the media at 10:30 a.m. ET right now. Canadians are determined to build a better, more prosperous future in these highly uncertain and difficult times. Canadians expect us to come together and get to work to help make their lives better, said the party in a statement outlining the full detail of the deal. According to one Liberal source who attended an emergency caucus meeting on the subject on Monday night, the agreement was billed to MPs as making Parliament work. Trudeau echoes this sentiment at his press conference, said that Canadians sent MPs back to Ottawa following the 2021 election with a clear mandate to work together to deliver results. The senior NDP source told CTV News that the New Democrats are willing to formally support the Liberals now for a host of reasons, including post-pandemic exhaustion and uncertainty over the war in Ukraine. They feel it is important to show parties can work together despite their difference. They say this approach is about getting people more stability in tough times, but they still plan to act like an opposition party, and that should something happen, both sides are free to walk away from the agreement. Trudeau said Tuesday that the deal is not about compromise either party's core beliefs, and that there will continue to be healthy debates between the parties. As well, the Liberal will continue to look to other caucuses in the House of Commons for support on issues that the NDP may not be supportive of, such as enhanced defense spending and in response to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis. Every piece of legislation will continue to get this scrutiny. Its merits committees will continue to do their essential work, and members of parliament will continue representing their constituents and holding the government to account, said the Prime Minister. As part of the deal, the parties has agreed to a system with no surprises and will be talking frequently in order to stay at the same page. This will include enacting the quarterly the leaders' meetings, regular meetings between their House leaders, and whips and monthly take stock meeting from the oversight group's comprised of staff and politicians. The kind of votes that the NDP will have to support tough through this deal include budget bills, estimate and supply legislation, and other motions that the Liberal deems matters and confidence. The NDP have also agreed to not move a vote of non-confidence or vote on non-confidence motion brought by another party during this time. They have also settled on the NDP backing on a limited number of what are called programming motions, such as time allocation or closure, to help quickly pass legislation both parties support. The deal will also see the NDP provide a briefing from ministers and top bureaucrats on policy matters, including in the deal, including on the budget and legislation. Given the Liberal are in a minority position, so long as this agreement is maintained, it will inject years of federal stability, allowing Trudeau's cabinet to continue advancing their priorities without concern of falling on confidence vote. Given the last federal election was in 2021, the next scheduled vote will happen in October 2025. The deal is set to remain in effect until Parliament's rise in June 2025, opening up the possibility of an early election call that summer. Since the Liberals were elected to a minority in 2019, the NDP had often been the government's main ally, voting to support their initiatives, but that support has never been formalized. The federal Conservatives are reacting strongly in opposition to the news, with interim Conservative leader Candice Spurgeon telling reporters after the deal was sealed on Tuesday morning that the coalition or NDP Liberal majority government will be costly for Canadians. That was not what Canadians voted for just a few short months ago. They did vote for an NDP Liberal government that will be spending billions of dollars, she said. There are differences between the agreement that the Liberal and NDP have reached and Bergen's suggestion that Canada now has a majority government run by a former coalition. The latter is when parties join forces for hold a large share of seats than any other party, and where the cabinet includes members from both parties. Extremely rare in Canada, a coalition government has not been formed federally in modern political times. There have been past examples of confidence and supply deals both federally and provincially in Canada. There are a lot of Liberals that are coming up to me and saying they are very worried about the economic direction under the Justin Trudeau government. I cannot imagine this morning how they are feeling, Burgeon said, claiming change is now basically the Deputy Prime Minister under this agreement. Chrystia Freeland remains Canada's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. No member of NDP are joining the federal cabinet. The Conservative Party will be electing the next leader in September, and should this Liberal NDP deal hold, the victor will be facing their first few years in the job as leader of the official opposition. More to come. This is Radio News.